Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The biggest names in music.
Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show. Okay.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shawn.
That's what I'm talking about.
1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Singapore. Good morning, world. Welcome to The Big Show. It's Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shawn. And since it's a Thursday, we have our career strategist with us from careeragility.org. It's Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Singapore, and happy National Day weekend coming up.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're all looking forward to it.
Nice shirt.
Nice shirt.
Nice shirt.
Love the red T-shirt with what is that? Marina Bay Sands on the front. I love how our Singapore skyline has changed so much. Before it used to be the Merlion, and then it was the Esplanade, and now it's pretty much the skyline. It's just changed over the decades.
Everything is just Marina Bay Sands.
Right?
Marina Bay Sands.
Beautiful, though.
Okay,
Beautiful.
Adrian, what are you talking about today then?
Well, we in the past couple of months, we've always been talking about how we can be happy at work, as employees, as staff. But, it's always two sides of the coin, right? It's never always about the employees. We also want to talk about the employers, the bosses. So one of the listeners actually wrote in and asked, how does that work out in terms of the equation? What can bosses do to make employees' life better, or how can employers retain their staff? I mean, I'm sure for folks like FD, being a business owner yourself, retention, how's your experience with employee retention?
It's been tough, especially now with COVID. And business has shrunk so much, which means incomes have shrunk a lot because people are looking at a commission-based industry.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have decided that they want something that has a more stable and more consistent income. So a lot of people have left the industry to do other things. So it's hard to retain. We can't necessarily go away from the commission base and start, just raising basic salaries. So it has been a big problem for bosses trying to retain people.
Yeah. In fact, in our research that we did recently, we interviewed close to over 1,000 executives. We found that 4 out of 5 individuals would leave the job if a better one came along.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
So the big question is, why would they want to leave, and what reasons? And it seems to me that the number one reason is actually salary. Surprise, surprise, right?
Well, I can see where that is, especially like, for example, my industry, right? The more successful someone is, the more they get known. And I'm sure this is true in any industry. The more successful you are, the more you get known, the more people want to poach you. They poach you based on that base salary. How much more can I get from another company? I'm doing the same work, but how much more can I get in that base salary?
Right.
Yeah.
And where's the loyalty anymore, right?
But, in this day and age,
Yeah, money first. No,
whatever it takes to survive.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's about,
I
it's
agree.
about survival.
Yeah.
Because
No,
we
but
don't,
talking
we
about-
don't know when this is going to end.
Yes.
This difficult
That's true.
period.
That's true. But if you ask me, loyalty cuts both ways. As much as the employees are expected to be loyal to the employers, I don't see much employer loyalty nowadays as well. If there's pressure from above, what do? They just cut jobs.
Yeah.
Right? So it has to be both ways. So salary is something which a lot of us want more of. But sometimes when your employees say that it's not, I want more money. Sometimes it's not about the money alone. It's about the other factors. Maybe perhaps he's overloaded. He's doing 2 or 3 jobs, 2 or 3 roles, and only getting 1 salary. And then he might feel like I'm overloaded. So even if you double the salary or 50% increase on the salary, you might not make the person happier. So when the employee comes to you and says, "I want to have a salary improvement. I want more money," sometimes it's deeper than that. So you really need to dig down.
So you need to ask the question of, do you think you're doing too much for what you're being paid?
Yes, there's one. Are you being overloaded? How can I make things easier for you? Is it just about the money? And when they say no, it's like, I want more salary, I want more money. It's like, okay, you just can't come up and say, right? You have to actually justify why. Is it because you're doing more work? Is it because you feel underpaid compared to the market? Or maybe a headhunter called you up and said, "Hey, I got a job offer for you. It's like 50% more." And you're like, "What? Really?
Yeah.
Worth that much more in the market?
Yeah, but I always warn my staff where this is concerned because a headhunter can come and say, "Oh, I've got a higher basic salary for you," but if with a higher basic salary comes higher KPIs, higher targets, your work is not going to lessen when your salary increases.
But the basic salary also means that you're secured for the rest of the year getting that amount as opposed to getting a commission, right?
I guess.
All right, we are speaking to Adrian Choo from KoreaAgility.org. Coming up very, very soon, we have music from Blink-182. But right now, here's Eric Carmen first with Hungry Eyes on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
You know, Adrian, speaking of this higher salary, I've found many times, and this is not even within my company, just speaking to other people, they want that higher salary, but they don't want the boundaries that come with it. They want the boundaries to remain the same, but I want more money for what I'm doing.
And the question is that reasonable for the bosses, right?
Yes.
So it's like the analogy I always give is this: if you have if your helper who's been with you for your domestic helper has been with you for the past like 5 years or 8 years, suddenly she comes up to you and says, "I want a 20% increase in pay." And you say, did my house just get bigger? Or did I did I like give birth to a little baby that no one knew of and you have to take care of? In fact, the kid's a bit bigger now. It should be easier, lighter, right? And why? Oh, because my friend just got a 20% salary increase, so I expect one as well.
Wow.
So
I
getting
expect one.
Expect one, yeah. So sometimes it's all a matter of what is the real reason behind it, and if it's maybe because. That's why employers must have that conversation, must have that meaningful career conversation with your staff, saying why exactly, how are things, maybe they're having, maybe the staff is having some financial difficulties. What can you do to help out, maybe perhaps. So like one of my favorite things from one of my old bosses is when someone goes up to him and asks him, "Boss, can I have a salary increase?" He says, "Sure, sell more."
Yeah.
Right, I think you said it before, right? You want more money, you just sell more commission based.
Well, right? I don't say if you want more money. No, we're not commission based. We have a salary and a commission, but generally the staff are very happy with their commission structure. It's the base salary they want, and it's like Angel says, because that is my guarantee. So they want more of that. But with more of that, obviously comes higher targets.
Yeah. So if you ask me, okay, and I may sound unfair in saying this because, to be fair, I'm speaking as a boss. Okay, as a business owner, you can't have your cake and eat it. If you want a high base and a high commission, then that's a bit. You really have to be. Yeah, in a way, it's a bit too much. But are you bringing the kind of value? And it's you have to work a lot more because ultimately, what you're being paid for is the work that you do.
But having said all that, Adrian, we also have to bear in mind that it is a good thing to reward loyalty.
True.
Yes.
So after a certain number of years, to increase salary based on loyalty is important as well, because that makes your staff feel appreciated.
And part of the company, like they have ownership, and once they have ownership, then they really do more to make sure that the company goes the best way, right?
Yeah, that's true. So it's a complex, salary is a complex equation, lots of factors coming in. But it's usually, from my experience, employees leave not only because of the salary, but it's usually a combination of factors, of which salary is just one of them.
So what else? What other reasons would employees leave?
From our research as well, we saw that career progression, or rather the lack of career progression, also makes people want to move more, the urge to find greener pastures. Because a lot of us, most of us, not all of us, most of us have this urge to do something new, some variety and growth and personal development, right? I mean, if it's the same job, like day in and day out for the past 15 years, some people don't mind doing it, but most of us will feel a bit bored. And then they look forward and they go, is there any career progression for me? Is there something else ahead? Something bigger? So career progression doesn't really mean a promotion or money, but maybe, doing more. It could be even variety. So a lot of times when you don't offer your employees a future in a company, see, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
How the bosses should just look out for driven people, ambitious people within his organization.
That care
right?
for the company as
Yes,
well. That
exactly.
No, but don't bosses also have to periodically have this progression discussion with their staff? Once a year, twice a year, and keep reminding them, look, this is my plan for you. This is where I see you going. This is what you're capable of doing.
Do
And
bosses
true.
do that here? I don't know.
From our research, which works, and you're one of the precious few because from our research we conducted, 2 out of 3 employees stated they've not had a meaningful career conversation with their bosses.
See?
Majority then, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
because the boss is distracted with other things.
Exactly, and they don't realize the importance of this is what we call, in the HR field, we call this employee engagement. So if you don't have the employee engagement with your staff, trust me, the headhunters will engage your staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
will.
true.
They will.
I mean, is there like a boss or an employer handbook as to how to be a boss? Because it seems like there are so many different types, and not everyone makes a good leader.
A skills future course.
Yeah, you may have the money or the idea to open a company, start your own business, this and that, but you don't necessarily make a good boss.
That's
Is there somewhere that people can go to kind of read up or learn the skill sets that they perhaps could adopt?
But yeah, there are
know what I
leadership. Yeah, there are leadership courses out there. But there's a difference between leadership and managing a team and being able to engage and get the most out of your team as well, right?
Yeah.
So these are very specialized skills, especially if you're talking about engaging your employees in a career conversation. That's what my company Career Agility does as well for the B2B, the corporate clients of ours. We sit down and we train the managers how to have that discussion, because a lot of times managers are afraid to have that career discussion with their subordinates.
Yeah, because they don't know how to.
They don't know how to,
Yeah.
and their idea is they're worried that if I teach these guys too much, they might leave. Or they want my job and then I've got no job. If they perform too well, they might steal my job. So lots of myths, lots of misconceptions around.
Yeah.
But if you're trained in the correct content and the process and procedure, you're able to increase the engagement scores tremendously.
Yeah, because you said 2 out of 3 employees have not had the conversation with their bosses, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some bosses just want to,
Boss.
hold on. Okay, we're going back on air. Blink things right here on The Big Show. 1FM 91.3. It's Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shawn. We were just talking about bosses behind their backs. That's what today's session is all about.
Yeah, and Adrian, you were talking about 2 out of 3 employees not having a career progression conversation with their bosses. And I was commenting on how maybe the bosses don't know how to have these conversations or hold these conversations, because not everyone's good at communication, no matter where you are on the corporate ladder.
Yeah, maybe bosses just don't want to get, engaged.
Engaged with the employees. So what's your thought on that?
I think it's critical. It's one of the most important leadership skills to have. Employee engagement. It's going to be, employee engagement used to be the field of HR. HR handles the employee engagement. But moving forward, the trend that we see in the future is that if you're a people manager, you need to be able to learn how to engage your staff, how to have that career conversation, and how to respond to the various questions that come up. So it's like a question comes up like, when's my promotion? It's a tough topic to handle, and honestly, it may not be settled in a 1 hour session once a year.
And there's so many startups nowadays. I mean, you were a startup when you started Career Agility, and you didn't have the budget to have an HR department. I mean, you were everything. You were probably the secretary, the HR department, and everything else, right?
Clear the rubbish also.
There you go. Bring your own coffee and all that. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a skill set that all employers should have. Communication skills.
Yes. And it's a very specific communication, very specific content-driven approach, which is quite technical at times. That's why a lot of our clients are now coming, they're sending their people managers to us to train them how to have career conversations with their staff. And you know what? The interesting thing is when they do that, they do see the retention rates go up. People quit less.
And that conversation is different whether you're dealing with, say, a 40-year-old
Yes.
or a millennial.
Exactly.
It's a different kind of conversation, It's very, very different.
I would
It's different.
imagine.
Yeah.
So what are the reasons would employees leave, Adrian?
I think what we've seen in the past year, one of the reasons, as I said, it's normally a confluence of several factors coming in. And one of the biggest factors we are seeing now is what we call career brownout. Burnout, blackout burnout is really extreme when you're totally shut off and, okay, I'm toasted already, right? But when you're browning at the edges like a toast, and you start smelling, and then it's time to take it out of the oven, otherwise it's going to get charred.
Wow, this is the first time I've heard of brownout.
Brownouts, yeah.
Brownout, wow.
So it's what we call career brownout. Sometimes it's just, and the worst thing is, a lot of times you have this situation where working from home and you can't separate your work from your home. And then you end up working longer hours. Your 1 hour lunch, which we used to have, horse around downstairs and in the cafeteria and everything, right? Nowadays, it's just go to grab a quick bite, half an hour, and come back up and continue the next Zoom conference, right?
Yeah. That's very hard to differentiate.
It's tough. So we are seeing a lot of individuals who are fatigued, tired. I ran a poll yesterday on LinkedIn, and I asked the people, how many of you have actually use up your leave, and how many of you think that you won't be able to use up all your annual leave for this year because there's simply no time or no impetus to, right? Close to 2/3 of the people say we're going to burn our annual leave this year. We're not going to be able to take it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting.
So when you get browned out and overloaded, your productivity goes down, your retention goes down. So you need to be able to have that conversation once again with your staff.
Right.
Okay.
What's causing the burnout?
Yeah. You okay, Angel? You're not browning out.
No, not at all.
Because you remember we went on leave and she didn't go on leave.
Yeah.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
And she doesn't need to go on leave.
Yeah. And seriously, if you look at my color, it will take a lot for me to brown out.
FD.
But what should bosses do when they see that brownout happening? That's what we'll deal with next.
All right. Meantime, here's Nickelback with Far Away on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Good morning.
So, Adrian, the first thing is the bosses or the supervisors need to recognize that brownout is happening. What do you do when that happens? Do you make the suggestion that maybe a sabbatical is due? Do you make the suggestion that maybe you should take leave? Do you lessen their load and spread it through other people? What do you do?
I think a mix of all of the above, I guess. Once again, it all boils down to having a conversation. How are things on your side? I remember your mom had some medical. How is she now? Do you need to take time out to look after her or send her to the hospital to and fro? Things like that. Even questions like if you're seeing, for myself, when I see my staff answering emails my staff don't do it anymore because I've coached them well. If I see my staff responding to client emails at like 11 or 12 at night, I say, wait, you're supposed to be resting. If you can wait till tomorrow, don't drive to the point where you do get brown out. So you have to be able to watch the signs, but also have the conversation with your employees as to what's the reasons why, what can I do to help you, and don't. In a way, sometimes I feel that they take the lead from your behavior as well. If you're the sort that keeps driving and never taken a day's leave in the past 4 years, they will feel compelled to do that.
And sending emails like at midnight and stuff like that. You feel like you must reply at that time if you're awake, right?
Yeah. So take enforced leave. Hey, I think it's time for you to take maybe next week's a quiet week. Why don't you take 2 days off? Take clear your leave. Sometimes I've worked for companies where the bosses don't even look at the annual leave, formal annual leave. Maybe you're given like 14 days or 18 days. Say, oh, look, you've been working weekends and everything. Just why don't you take the next 2 days off, unrecorded leave. I think FD does that a lot, right?
We have done it. We have done it because in our industry, if you are browning out or if you're getting burnt out, it's horrible for the company.
Burnt out will be too late already. That's why browning out is when you start doing something.
We do look for that browning out because even that can just affect an entire production. So
that's true. That's true. And all you need is just one important teammate to burn out.
And
brown out. The whole production goes, right?
Yeah, and in our industry, you can do 5 good gigs and 1 bad one, and it's the 1 bad one that everyone remembers.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can't afford that.
To prevent browning out, I mean, should employers, like you say, employers are role models. They are who employees look up to in terms of behavior and work ethics and all that. Should employers sort of, like you said, enforce leave, but things like, at 6 o'clock, whatever time your day ends, no more emails. Don't feel the need to reply. Even if I send you one, as an employer, I'll send you an email at midnight. Please don't feel the need to reply right away, even if you're awake, like watching Netflix or whatever. Should employers tell their employees this so that they don't feel like, oh, I have to reply because it's come from my boss?
Well, it depends on the corporate culture. I mean, some organizations are like go, and you need to get it done. I mean, if it's urgent and important, go ahead and do it, right? But one thing I like about banks is that a lot of banks have this thing called compliance leave,
Yes.
where you have to clear 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, and you're not allowed to log into your computer or your phone.
Oh, not allowed
Not
to.
allowed
Not
to.
allowed to. They are not
compliance
allowed to.
Yeah.
And they call it compliance. So on one hand, it's great for the employees. They just shut off. Okay, I totally shut off and then
Yeah.
go. Because a lot of times you take leave and then what happens? You're still on your phone, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's true.
So the banks do it because of compliance leave. A lot of times they want to see what happens when you're not around. So it's a check to see, if there's any hanky-panky happening in the background. So that's the reason why they have compliance leave. But I like the idea of a total shut off, unplug yourself leave.
So
which
do
think
I. Yeah, I think that's
companies should
fantastic.
have.
Yeah.
what if they breach that? So what if they do
Log on.
log on?
They can get into trouble.
Oh, wow.
What kind of
HR
trouble?
I have no idea because I mean, if it's small little stuff like going in, checking whatever it is, something that's minor, I think it's okay. But it's a good practice actually to just unplug.
Of course.
And today it's so hard to unplug because in the old days you could go to like somewhere in the jungle for a holiday and they say unplug. Sorry, no Wi-Fi.
Right? Yeah.
No,
And then
you're stuck in Singapore.
I don't know. People are like, you're on leave and they're like still texting you about work, right?
I say no Wi-Fi.
I think the important thing here to remember, and where Adrian's heading with this, is it's because it's particularly prevalent because of COVID-19 and because of working from home. That situation is getting worse.
Yes.
And you're going to see a lot more browning out now.
I totally agree. Because as you say, you're not allowed to log on to your company computer, but there's still your WhatsApp. There's still your other forms of communication that people communicate on, not necessarily
Yeah.
through company email.
The irritating group chats.
Yeah, the group chat.
chat.
Like everything is a group chat, right? Like
That should be
oh,
banned, actually. I think it's just a matter of time, mark my words,
Yeah.
where work group chats will be banned.
No, I mean, a main group chat is okay, right? One group chat is fine. I think group chats are just a lazy way of saying, I don't want to send a message 3 times. It's literally a copy and paste. Why is it that if I make an introduction to
You might
a
miss
friend
out
of
someone.
mine, no, but I mean, if it's a small group, it's fine. If I need to make an introduction to Mark, say to a friend of mine, I'm going to start a group chat. I mean, like, why?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on this
And
group chat.
not everyone is going to get the memo necessarily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
'Cause it's
Let's say
always
there
on
are
mute.
20 people on the group chat, right?
Yeah.
And you think, okay, this is my way of just informing all 20
Yeah.
about something that's happening.
Yeah.
But not all 20 are going to be reading it.
No, not all 20.
And
yeah.
once some people start chatting and all that, you're going to get lost.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Who
You
goes
know?
all the way up,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly.
To read 100.
So, what's your take on work group chats, Adrian? Do you think that at some point, we will do away with work group chats?
I think work group chats is the WhatsApp equivalent of the BCC on the emails.
On the CC, yeah.
On the CC, on the CC list. Sometimes they're just including you in just to cover their behinds.
But the difference is with the CC and the BCC. With the CC, you don't have to attend to it straight away
Yeah.
unless you're in the toolbox.
Yeah, correct.
That's a lot of people. They just go, okay, you're
Right.
keeping me copied in, so
Yeah.
I'm on top of the situation and I know what's going on, and there's paper trail.
That's true.
But
That's
with
true.
WhatsApp, it's like everybody gets a
out of
notification.
control.
It does.
Gets
That's-
out of control.
That's why most companies now, they don't use WhatsApp. They use a proper work
Chat.
chat. So like
Yeah.
stuff like Workplace or
Yeah.
Slack.
Monday.com and stuff like
Workplace.
that.
Because
It's got
Monday,
work-
yeah.
because that's very important, and
Yes.
and we've seen it. You start up a work chat, and then you get mindless communication on it,
Yeah.
which you don't get with an email. You don't get that mindless
And
communication.
if
Yeah,
I'm on leave, I get
Yeah.
irritated, right?
Yeah.
So my next question to you, Adrian, is: if I were to go on leave, do I have the right to leave the chat during my period of being on leave?
I vote
and
yes.
then check in again when
When you're
I'm back at
yeah,
work.
I vote
Right,
yes.
yes.
That's a
but
good-
sometimes when you do that, it's seen as rude. If you leave a group, but and I think some bosses don't allow that. But do you think it's okay if someone is on leave for like 2 weeks and the person leaves the work group chat?
20 seconds.
I think if it's two weeks, you probably can. Just say that, okay, I'm on leave. I'm going to exit it because
I don't need to be here.
Yeah, if anything urgent, urgent WhatsApp me directly
Yeah.
or email
Yeah.
me.
Okay, I have a comment on that when we come back in a
Okay.
while.
All
we should
right, stand
recap.
by.
Recap work
Yeah.
chats. Stand
Yeah.
by.
OneFM 91.3 traffic.
Well, let's take a look at it. The SLE towards the BKE, a vehicle broken down at Woodlands Avenue 12 exit. That will slow you down. 1 or 2 delays across the expressways, quite normal for this time of the morning. Stay within the speed limit, please. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show. We are with Adrian Choo from KoreaAgility.org. Thanks once again for joining us, Adrian. Now, earlier on you mentioned that banks have this policy, right? When people go on leave, compliance leave that is.
Yeah.
When they go on compliance leave, they're not allowed to log on, for work during that period. If not, they might get into trouble. So my question to Adrian was, what about our work group chats? There are many companies now that have started work group chats, and you have, anything from 30 to 100 people, on the group chat, right? And if someone were to go on leave, right, is it okay for that person to leave the work group chat?
I think it's okay if it's like a 2-week break because it's a long leave. But I think you just explain it nicely, saying, "Look, hey guys, I'm going on my annual leave. It's a 2-week personal timeout, and I'm going to exit the chat. I'll be back in by this date. And if there's anything urgent, just email it to me." Thanks. And I think it's okay. The big challenge I can imagine facing is that you'll be exiting like about 24 chat groups. And you probably can't remember which ones to join again.
Well, it's not only that, Adrian. I think exiting the chat group is a little risky because information may be dropped in there that you will not catch.
But you're on leave.
Listen, so if you exit and you come back, you may come back with big holes of it where information has been lost. And not everybody is going to, I just need to say this one thing. I'm not going to send you an email because you're on leave. So I put it in the chat. What I'm saying is you may be on leave. You can check your emails your WhatsApps for 10 minutes a day. You don't have to respond. You just check it so you stay informed.
Then you're going to get lost anyway.
I disagree.
You're going to get lost.
I think if you're on leave, like let's say you've gone away. Now we can't go anywhere, but you're still technically away. You're not supposed to be doing any work. I think if there's something that's so important that needs to be told to you, everything should be put down in an email. And it should be sent, and then you can choose to read it when you read it, and it's all there. Because half the things that are on WhatsApp chat groups are inane.
Yeah, and once they start chatting, let's say you go take a nap, and you wake up, you won't know what's happening anymore.
But the point is, if you're going to say if it's so important, put it on an email. If I'm not checking my WhatsApp, I'm not going to be checking my email. Let's be honest.
No. But this will be a roundup of when you come back after your 2 weeks. It's there. I bet you there only a roundup. So you see it. Okay, you're like, okay, these are the 3 things that happened that I need to know when I come back to work, and that's it. All the other like mundane stuff, like I had my vaccination, I feel ill, I did this. That's like not necessary.
Nobody
cares.
Nobody cares. I say move away from WhatsApp and use that proper
like Monday or something. Or workplace,
I'm with Shawn on that.
Actually, if you think about it, right? I mean, people complain about us, looking at our phones all the time and all that. Most of the time, it's because of these work group chats.
It's because of WhatsApp chats.
And I agree with this, like Monday.com and stuff like that, because people know it's not a chat and they only put the stuff that needs to go on.
And you're only going there for work.
You're only going there for work. I'm totally with you.
Exactly. It's irritating. Some people get anxious, because if they don't check, right? Every time a message comes through, if they don't check, they feel like, okay, what if it's work?
Yeah.
So I think it's very unhealthy.
It is very unhealthy,
It is.
Because leave is leave. Leave is a chance for you to get away from all your daily work and then reset. So everyone needs that reset.
I dare ask the question, how many people listening to us have gone on leave in the last 5 years and really been on leave?
Yeah. I think I only get that when I'm physically away from the country.
Adrian's take? Adrian, what do you think?
I agree with FD. In fact, I was once told that the only time you're really truly on leave is when you resign and waiting to join another company.
No, it's true.
Actually, that's true.
There are only 2 times you're on leave: when you resign and you don't have a job, or you're dead.
Hey, what about the retirement part?
Yeah.
No,
well,
you're retired. You're no longer.
See,
in
FD
the
doesn't
industry.
think about retirement, you
doesn't.
see.
It's
That's
not
why.
in his
It's
mind.
I don't.
It's not in his vocabulary.
It's
No,
not
it's
my
not.
vocabulary.
Yeah, that's so sad. Okay,
Why?
coming up very soon, we've got Luke Tan. He is a Veducator and personal development coach. It's his first permanent slot with us.
Yes.
Today.
And
There you go. We want to introduce.
Yeah. Coincidentally enough, he's going to be talking about time optimization. So this will be very interesting. Good morning, Luke. Please meet Adrian. Adrian, meet Luke.
Hey, look, how are you?
Oh, can't hear you, Luke.
You're muted.
You might be
Yeah.
muted.
There you go.
I'm no more muted. Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Adrian.
Hey. Welcome to the club, the Breakfast Club.
I know.
The Breakfast Club.
Club.
I like
I've got
that.
my-
The Breakfast Club. Huh? Okay,
right.
Adrian, any last words?
Well, if you're an employee and you're feeling unhappy at your work, maybe you might want to ask your bosses or just ask for a conversation with them. If you want to find out what to talk about, don't wait till the performance appraisal time of year to have these types of discussions. You can just have an informal walk-in, talk to the boss, craft something out, just have a discussion. But if you're a boss or employer, I think it's time to look at how you engage your staff and how you are going to frame the conversation, because employee retention and productivity is a major thing now post-COVID. So have a look at that, and happy weekend ahead, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
and happy
thanks very
National
much,
Day.
Adrian.
Hey, have a good one. Take care, guys.
All right, see you next week.
Okay, bye.
All right, we'll be with Luke Tan next on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody on 1FM 91.3.
It's
Welcome, Luke.
Hey.
hey.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Always
Very good. Very good.
seeing all you guys always just wakes me up and makes me feel alive.
Okay, Luke, today you're talking about time optimization. Please tell us what that is.
How to do more in less time, and this is out of necessity because I run a tight ship. Being a dad, running online summits, coaching clients on and offline, training myself. Being a dad.
Yeah, I just heard a
Yeah.
child in the background.
And we've seen your body.
Yeah.
It's very tight.
It's okay.
No,
It's okay.
it's okay, it's great.
It's perfectly
no,
fine.
you're allowed to bring the kids on.
I love this. In other words, what you're saying, Luke, is how can we get more productive?
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed, and how more focused in a distracted world.
Okay,
really,
so tell
because-
us.
So how does this
Yes,
work?
I think the first thing really is, for me at least, the first step is dedicating this thing called deep work. I don't know whether you read read the book by Cal Newport called Deep Work. It's a really, really good book in terms of channeling focus and tuning out noise in a very distracted world. Oh, I am sorry.
No, don't apologize.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
This is perfect for this topic.
It's fine.
This is real. This is live.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it comes out of necessity, being able to really do more in a less time, because I don't have a lot of time in the day. So the first aspect of me really finding or getting clients to work really is to work in a silo, defining a deep work period. So it literally could be from 8 to 10, 10 to 12, or whatever it is. If you're working in the office, deciding what time that you want to work in a silo. That is the first step, because we need to define a time of the day that you want to really go deep. And the next thing is really eliminating distractions. So I think the thing is that I think all of us have this in the background.
Yes.
We have this in the background, and the moment this goes, bing, woo,
Yeah.
who needs me? Who wants me?
Yeah, what we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about just now to Adrian, right?
That's
it's
right.
like,
It's perfect. Yeah.
it's
Yes.
The
And you
stress
feel-
of having to reply right away or
Yes. And not only that, I've been guilty of this as well. I have Facebook, and then you see that 1, 2, 3. Oh, my post, I just posted 7 a.m. Who liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a comment. And then you start going into this whole issue of checking Facebook, going down the feed, and then you lose track. And then you've got your emails in the background as well. And you might have Channel News Asia on the TV as well. So there's so many sources of distraction. So it's a case of eliminating all of that. So the first thing that I would say is to put your phone on airplane mode during that deep work period, and literally just even put do not disturb, turn it off. Close down any apps that will pull you away from the work that you're focused on. Because the thing is that what actually happens is when you're checking back and forth, you actually residual attention will be pulled in this different direction. So there's only a limited bandwidth of attention and focus that we have in the day. So that is the one thing that we need to do. Really, really treasure that bandwidth that you have, treasure that resource that you have of time and focus, and work in that silo. So that's number 2. Number 3, I would say, is also setting micro goals. So micro goals, what I mean by micro goals is that it's important to, there's with to-do lists and with tasks and if with everything else, the moment you start doing 2 or 3 things, 4 or 5 tasks come in, especially when you're working in an office, you've got your boss coming in and interrupting your flow, and you might have 4 or 5 tasks and it starts piling up. And then on top of that, you've got your emails and things like that. So really deciding on what are the 4 most important goals that you have in a day. So I do this, I do have a morning ritual, and I think we chatted briefly the last time about starting your day right, starting your day with intention. And I think one question that I ask myself is, what would make today a great day? And it could be, just connecting with my wife or going swimming with my daughter, but also 3 important tasks that I need to accomplish to make it an excellent, productive day. So these will be my micro goals. And the micro goals, I kind of look at it in the lens of this model where it's called PROP, P-R-O-P. What are my priorities for the day? So this is a PROP model that I use. PROP, what are my priorities for the day? So for example, I co-host an online summit, Plant-Based Asia Summit. And maybe my priority for the day is to get 3 interviews done for the summit. That is my number 1 goal. And then the next thing is reality, which is R. What are the realities that surround my priorities? Which is, for example, the reality is, although I wanted to conduct 3 interviews, 1 canceled at the last minute. I had these micro goals, but the reality is I can only do 2. So the O would be the options. Okay, based on this reality, what can I now do? Okay, maybe I can edit this too and prepare the questions for 1 more. And then finally, P, which is the path. Just do it. Just focus on the 2 edits and then focus on the 1 more. So I'm just wondering, because I think normally we kind of cut out to radio as well, do we?
We are going to do that in a while. Not yet. You have time. About 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes.
All right. Cool. So yeah, I think those are the things. So really setting micro goals, because a lot of times we have 10, 15 tasks at hand, and then when you actually focus on what you have to do, there's this feeling of overwhelm, a feeling of not enough time, and you just get frazzled and you get stressed. And I think coming back to the practices that I shared before, when you get stressed, 3 breath rule: pause, breathe, think, and then act. Take 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. 3 breaths, and then focus on what you can versus can't do. So that's number 3. Setting micro goals is a big one. Number 4 is called the term is called eating the frog. I mean, I follow 100% plant-based diet, and I'm vegan, so it's not very nice to say. But in a sense, eat the frog is a term where you do hard things first. So meaning that, the stuff that you've been procrastinating most, whether it's filing your taxes, sending whatever email that you've been trying to avoid, that you've been procrastinating against, really whatever it is that you find the hardest is the one that you want to knock down first.
Yeah.
Because when you actually knock that big boulder off first, everything seems like a breeze, because it probably requires a lot more of your bandwidth, requires a lot more of your focus and emotional capacity to manage that. So once you knock that off first, you'll be able to knock the rest. So eating the frog is number 4.
It's almost like getting rid of the hardest thing, then everything else is easy,
seems easy,
right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Correct. It's really just getting rid of the hardest thing. So I guess, where you guys are concerned, what is something that you've been procrastinating, or you've been I'd love to find out.
Well, I've been procrastinating a lot. I've been wanting to get chicken rice. I haven't done it.
He's eating the chicken.
How dare you talk about chicken rice in front of Luke?
That's why.
That's okay. Chicken
No
rice
respect.
Anyway. There is vegetarian chicken rice anyway, but
That's
but
true.
no, Josh. Yeah, chicken rice starts at 11 though. 11.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
Hey, you know what? My
Even you know.
my favorite vegetarian chicken rice is from Green Dot, actually.
Yeah, that's. Oh,
Oh,
actually,
really?
I haven't
So
tried
yeah,
that.
you should try that. It's really, really good. The chili is also
Is it
great.
vegan though?
I think it is.
It's vegan, right? Yeah.
It is,
I haven't
yeah.
tried that.
Sean,
Really good.
Sean, Luke, this list you're giving us, the setting of
Yes.
micro goals, the prop, the eating the frog, and whatever else you're going to come up with, are these steps? Someone is asking, are these the steps I use to create my daily to-do list?
The prop, yeah, it could be to-do list. Yeah, it could be to-do list for daily kind of goal setting. Or it could actually be the week. It could actually be a month. It could actually stretch up to a year. What are your priorities? What are your realities? So you can actually just stretch it out based on day, month, years. Moving, changing your careers and things like that. That's just a model that I would use to just kind of plan and future pace.
Okay,
Okay,
Luke, we're going
awesome.
for a traffic break, and when we come back, I'm
sure.
going to ask you to tell everyone a little bit about yourself. Okay.
For sure.
91.3 traffic.
The KPE towards the ECP, an accident after Tampines Road exit, avoid lane 1. PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after Bukit Batu East Avenue 3. 1 or 2 delays across the expressways because of heavy traffic. That's quite normal for this time of the day. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you have everyone in your car buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show right here on 1FM 91.3. Our guest for this morning and will be our regular contributor every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. is Veducator, personal development coach. He's a fitness trainer as well. Luke Tan, welcome to the show. Welcome to The Big Show.
Thank you very much for the invites. Always amazing to see you guys and wake up to you guys and listening to you guys every single morning. So thank you. It's an honor to be here. So yeah, a little bit about me as you shared briefly. I'm a personal development coach, author, and veducator. So I veducate, meaning that I educate using a plant-based diet. And what I specialize in is helping clients and people develop a strong body and mind and live with a deep sense of purpose using a plant-based diet. And so I've been in the fitness space for many years and now moving into a personal development space in the last few years. So I think that's a little bit about me. And I'm just excited to share some tips and some practical strategies to live a more optimized life and also a more balanced life.
Well, the good news for Singaporeans is you can catch Luke every Thursday, as I mentioned, at 8:30 right here on The Big Show. But for people who want to get in touch with you, right, to get you to be their personal coach, how can they get in touch with you, Luke?
Starting, I'm on luketan.co. That's my web address, and also my Instagram is @luketan.co. That's probably the best way to get me.
We're getting such interesting questions, and I knew this was a question that was going to come up the minute we said we're going to have Luke on a regular basis. Mary Chin, procrastination is a habit which I've been trying to conquer for the longest time. Any tips?
Wow.
I guess that's a loaded question, isn't it?
What is she procrastinating about?
Yeah, exactly.
Your topic for next week.
Yeah, I think
exactly. Topic for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We all I think we all procrastinate for a reason, but we have to identify why. Why drives our action or inaction. So why are you procrastinating? Is it an emotional reason? Is it an issue? Is it something you're trying to avoid? Because if it's an emotional thing, maybe it's something that you need to address with someone or within. So without knowing what it is, it always starts with why. But beyond why, I think it's important to just set micro goals, because a lot of times when we procrastinate, for example, someone wanting to get fit, like someone who's really out of shape, saying, I really need to get back into shape, and I need to get out of this space. Maybe the first thing could just be waking up 15 minutes early and drinking a glass of water versus going out for a run, going out to exercise 3 times a week. So really, once what I said before, micro goals. What is the smallest thing that you can do to actually move ahead? So as they say, for me, when I feel a sense of doubt, or anyone, I always say that the 2 antidotes are this: movement, get exercising, go for your walk, go for a run. You can clear your mind, get some insights and get inspiration, or take action. And action could just be the smallest micro step that you can do. So I think those are the 2 tips I would share to possibly and hopefully help you get out of this. Because the longer you wait, and as we know, I've been there before, the longer you wait and the longer you procrastinate, the bigger the mental mountain you have to cross.
That's true. But once you start, right,
That's
you
it.
just
You're
want to keep
on
on
a roll.
going.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
today, Luke, for your first ever episode on The Big Show, you're talking about optimizing your time. And so
Correct.
far, you've given us tips like working in silos. So like working in little segments of your day, setting micro goals for yourself. One of your quotes that you said earlier really got to me is asking the question when you wake up, what would make today a great day? I love that. And I'm going to start doing that every day. What kind of goal do I want to achieve that's going to make me smile? Another one was eating the frog, which basically means getting the hardest stuff out of the way at the beginning of the day. So when we go back on The Big Show TV, if this is something that you want to hear more of, just join us on Facebook. We're live right now, and we're going to talk more about optimizing our time.
All right. Up next, Michael Bolton. Here's Love is a Wonderful Thing on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
Okay, fantastic. I missed your first point. What was the first thing that...
Designate a deep work period. So designate a time in the day when you want to work in that silo, you want to go deep.
Right.
And then just everything else falls around that.
Okay,
So
all
it
right.
needs to start with that first.
Okay, so you were at Eat the Frog.
Eat the frog.
Yeah.
So eating the frog. So definitely doing the hard things first is a big one. And once you actually knock that off, everything else seems a lot easier. So the next one was... is I look at productivity as in 3 lenses of how I would define a productive day. One would be totally unproductive. I've got 4 micro goals, and the whole day I've just been sitting watching Netflix, PlayStation, chatting with my friends, and then feeling.
That's quite a number of people actually these days. Huh?
And saying that I should do this and I haven't done this for the past few weeks. So that's unproductive, meaning that you haven't done anything at all. So then the next lens would be optimize, which is I've hit my micro goals and done all of that. And I'll share an example of how I look at these 3 lenses. And the final one is peak. So there's unproductive, optimized, and peak. So unproductive, as I shared, it was lazing around doing nothing, absolutely nothing, and just at the end of the day, I wasted the day. That's the last thought that comes to your mind. So optimized would be achieving your 4 micro goals the micro goals that you set for yourself beyond the mountain of tasks that you have to do. And I use this thing called, I think many people know of it, Eisenhower's Matrix. So Eisenhower's Matrix, I actually have my board there, not urgent versus urgent and important versus not urgent and important, urgent, not important, and not urgent, not important. So just Google Eisenhower Matrix. So I use that as a filter to see what is most important and what is most urgent and tag that down. And then after that, I might go into my stuff that's not urgent, but important, which is like studying, learning, doing my courses and things like which doesn't have a time frame. So optimal would be doing all of that, my 4 micro goals, but also being able to dedicate some time to learn, listen to podcasts, listening to an audiobook, do a Udemy course. On top of that, for me, I look from my lens, would be able to train as well. And then finally would be going swimming with my daughter in the evening, taking my daughter to a swimming. She loves just jumping in a pool and just having that time to be a dad. So that to me would be an optimized day where I've done all my tasks, I've managed to learn, and then at the same time spend time with my family, train, have some me time, train, and sometimes even play PlayStation. At times I do have.
It sounds like you've got like 48 hours in a 24-hour day.
It feels like it sometimes because it never felt that way. Yeah, it sounds like I do a lot in that short period of time. But yeah, I feel like ever since I've applied these principles, I feel like I now have 48 hours versus like I don't have enough time. I need more time. So the final piece is the peak. All right, peak would be doing all of those things. Maybe going swimming, doing my learning in the afternoon. But I hit my 4 micro goals. But because I've done all of that, I can tick off 6 more goals and 6 more tasks. So essentially, in one whole day, I've done 10 things, plus all of the life balance stuff. Because I talked about the 6 pillars the previous session. And the 6 pillars would be time in nature, stress management. So I would have had some time in nature. I would have some time to connect with my friends, which is another pillar. Some time to train, eat well, breathe. So that would be a peak day where I hit all my 6 pillars. On top of that, my 10 goals. So that would be unproductive, optimized, and peak.
Right.
But a couple of things, look, I mean, let's say
Yes.
I go through a day and I don't hit those 6 pillars. I shouldn't beat myself up over it.
Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, I think it's important. That's such a great point, Flying Dutchman, because if you don't hit those 6 pillars, like for me, I wish I could have some time in nature, just connecting with nature every single day for half an hour, just sitting in nature. But now I've started to plan those sessions once a week with my daughter, watching the sunrise. But every morning I try and hit that pillar as little as I can. For example, time in nature back in the day was going to Marina Barrage, watching the sunrise. It's a long and drawn out process. But for me right now, I just wake up in the morning and I walk barefoot in my garden. I walk barefoot in my garden and do my morning ritual as I'm walking and breathing on my garden, walking back and forth. And the thing about it is you make the best of the 6 pillars. Like some people say, I don't even have a garden. How would I connect with nature? Well, you can buy a pot plant, and connect with that plant in front of you. So there's always kind of smaller versions of what you can hit within the pillar. But I don't have time to go to the gym. Well, you can work standing like I do. I'm standing right now. So I can't eat. I don't know how to eat well. Well, you can drink water, right? You can drink more water. There's always something that you can do with
small changes, right? That
exactly,
will eventually lead.
changes.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you said, you're stepping out like bare feet
Onto the grass.
onto the grass.
Yeah.
Because I was watching this show on Netflix, right? It's called Down to Earth, and there's this guy named Darren Olin, and I think he's a vegucator as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that's what he was teaching Zac Efron. I think every
I saw
country that they go to, right?
Yeah.
He would take his shoes off and just feel
The earth.
Feel the earth. You know, in order to kind of like adapt.
Connect, yeah.
To whatever it is that I can't explain it. You know, I mean, but
I get what you're saying.
But what is the basis of that?
I mean, scientifically, by actually connecting with the earth, the earth actually absorbs negative ions from your body. So on an energetic level, but I also think it's a sensory experience because we're always wearing shoes. You know, we're not actually connected with the earth, and that's why I think it's important for us to reconnect with our true essence as human beings, human animals, with nature, and also just the microbes that we get by being in nature, because the microbes that we breathe in nature actually help with our immune system, help with digestion, help with our general overall sense of well-being as well. So I love the episode as well. Thanks for bringing that up, and I watched the episode. And
That's awesome series.
It's an awesome series.
Actually,
yeah.
this whole thing of connecting with nature and walking bare feet, there's a very simple way to do this. Just stop for a moment the next time you go to the beach. And you take your slippers off and walk through the sand. Your entire being feels different.
Yeah.
You get cut.
It just feels different.
Singapore.
So good. You know what Shawn just said? You cut your feet.
You might
You know how much litter we have on the beach?
Well, obviously
It
you
is
got to
true,
pay
Shawn. It is
attention
true,
to where
right?
you're walking as well. Pay attention. You don't just blindly walk.
Must close your eyes because your negative ions are leaving your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to walk. I mean, find a safe spot, take your shoes off, stand there, and just connect.
Yeah.
Don't go
Yeah,
for a stroll.
exactly.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Don't step in the grass because there's dog poop there? Is that what,
Yeah,
is that what you're going to say
Yeah.
next?
Look when
That
you're
is
walking.
true.
Always look when
You
you're
need
walking.
to remove these negative
So
ions
dog
from
owners,
you.
this is why it's important for you to clean up after your dog.
Yes.
That's one thing you take away from this session. It's not personal development. Clean the poo up after. Seriously, my goodness.
Yes, don't be an irresponsible dog owner.
But honestly, I mean, Luke, the strongest point for me that you made today was what would make today a great day. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like
Awesome.
wake up with that one statement in your head. Whether it's something that you have to do or something that you've always wanted to do, what would make
Correct.
today great?
Yeah. That's a
you
great
know,
one.
you know, Luke, I like to take it easy. Is that wrong?
Yes.
Is that
No.
Okay. Yeah. So
How is
I
it
mean,
serving you? That's what
How
I
is
ask.
it
If it's
serving you?
Yeah, I mean-
if it's serving you well, great. If
Yeah.
you like to take it easy and it's not serving you, then maybe we need to tweak something.
If
Right.
you're
Yeah.
happy,
like a
right?
perfect
you're
day,
happy
a
and you know
perfect
it.
day would be like waking up at 5 and then doing the show and then going home, having like a nice breakfast, and then out on the golf course for the next 5 hours.
so
you
then
know,
that's your perfect
And
day,
that's
yeah.
my perfect
There
day.
we go. That sounds like a perfect day to
Yeah,
me,
people's
man. I would
retirement
love to
plans.
have that day as well.
So I mean, if it makes you happy, then do it, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think that's really just key. Is how do you feel at the end of the day? If you feel like, wow, that has been a great day, it means golf, eating chicken rice at 11 p.m. and walking barefoot and avoiding the litter. That's a perfect day. It's all your perception of it.
So for someone who let's say meets all the pillars as you mentioned, right, and at the end of the day feels a bit exhausted and not so happy, it means that the person is doing a little bit too much, and should.
Could be too much or too little.
Okay.
Or not the
It
right
could-
stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, or not the right
way.
stuff. Exactly. It could be misalignment as well.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely.
So emotionally, the person should feel happy and satisfied.
Happy and satisfied, gratified, coming back to your family, looking forward to seeing your children, giving them a kiss. For me, at least, when I see my daughter, one of my best times of the day is when I see my daughter pick her up. She's running toward me, Papa! She's running towards me, and she runs, and then she gives me a good big hug, and that's one of the biggest highlights of my day.
She's the prettiest. She's the prettiest little girl. I mean, I ran into them last week,
Right.
by
Yes.
chance, and she's such a sweet little girl. She's so
Very,
sweet.
very
Bit shy, but
little
sweet.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very sweet little
Okay,
girl.
Luke, it's been great having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you very
we look
much. I
forward
look
to seeing
forward
you
to
next
Next week,
Thursday.
yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Before you go, we want to introduce you to Shawn. This is Shawn Chua.
Hello,
Hey, Luke.
Sean.
Hi,
Great
morning.
to meet you. Good morning.
Great to meet you too. Yeah.
Sean is
what's-
our sleight of hand master.
Sleight of hand master.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've got to see this.
Yeah.
I'm tune in after this.
He's brilliant. Thank you, Luke. You have a
Fantastic.
wonderful day ahead.
And you guys too. Have a
Thanks,
great
Luke.
one.
Bye bye.
Take care.
See ya. Bye.
And that was Luke Tan, our veducator and personal development coach. And moving on to Shawn Chua right now, Asia's Got Talent finalist. How are you, Shawn?
Good morning, guys. Doing good.
Morning.
I get this very positive vibe this morning. Is it just me or is it?
It's Luke.
It's Luke.
Are you barefoot
Right.
though?
Are you
Sorry?
barefoot?
Are you barefoot?
I actually am.
There?
There you go.
There you go.
All your negative ions have gone into the ground.
Into the carpet though.
The carpet.
Yeah.
Same.
Good
So
enough.
am I.
Yes.
Okay, that we didn't need to see.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know that in Thailand that's rude, showing the base of your foot.
Really?
Yeah.
No
yeah.
way.
Well, thank God we're in Singapore.
That's
You
right.
don't put your feet up on a table and show the base of your feet to anybody.
Then if you go for massage,
No, that's different. You're not. It's not like in your face kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
This is
not.
my yoga
but-
move, by the way.
it is a very good stretch though.
That's
It's like this.
super stretch.
Okay, let Sean take over.
What you doing?
Okay, guys. So we have time for this, right? I hope.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What we're gonna do today is we are going to help FD find his card.
Ma.
Oh.
His what? His card.
Card.
Yes.
Oh, card. It's a karma.
Karma.
So
What karma?
basically, not his car. I'm sure his car is still there wherever it is, but his card. So basically, I'm just gonna facilitate this whole session. You guys will help FD find his card.
All right.
Okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna
Okay.
be good. Okay.
Okay, so FD first, of course, you have to pick one.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna riffle through like this.
And I'll say
okay?
stop.
Yes, and
Stop.
when you say stop, I'll just hang on, not yet.
Oh.
When I'll show it to you, and I'll try to look away, just to make this fair. Okay,
I thought
and
we're
then, of
picking for
course,
you. What?
No,
Just,
you're helping me find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
I
he
will
has to pick one first.
Yeah.
Yes. So FD, anytime you're ready, just say stop.
Stop.
Here.
He said FD, not Glenn.
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
You got it?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good,
No,
keep
it's
it,
good.
keep it,
It's
keep
good.
it.
It's
Okay.
good. It's
Okay.
good.
All right. So what we're going to do now is, of course, we're going to help him find his card. Let me just bring this a little bit closer to what we're going to do.
There you go. Yeah.
Got it.
Okie dokes. So, FD, your card is now somewhere in the deck.
Yeah.
Would you be able to find it right now?
Okay.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't know
No.
where it is.
So that's why the rest of the guys are going to help you. So,
Okay.
Angel, as you've known, what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate cards till we get to his card.
Okay.
All right. So what you can see here is I have split the deck into two halves, top and bottom.
Yep.
Which one do you want to eliminate?
Eliminate the top.
The top? Sure?
Yep.
Okay. So we take the top. That's gone.
Okay.
Now, if you had picked the wrong half and if FD's card was over there, this
Good
trick
luck.
is already over.
Just too
Yeah,
bad.
it's
Yeah,
done,
just
man.
too bad.
It's the angel's
Okay.
fault.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Now,
Okay.
Shawn,
Yes.
we're just going to pretend that there's still hope. So what we're going to do is,
That's what I do every single day of my life.
Hey! What would make today a great day?
Pretending that there is
Picking
hope.
his card.
yes, so let's hope we get this right. So Shawn, there's still a bunch of cards here.
Okay.
You're just going to pick out the cards that you think might be FD's cards. So as I go through, you just say stop, I'll pull a card out. Say stop, I'll pull a card out.
Oh,
All right?
many times, huh?
Yeah, all right,
All right,
till we
here
get
we
to
go.
the end. Okay, let's go.
Stop.
Here, okay.
Stop.
Here, okay.
Stop.
Here, okay.
Stop. I feel like a
Can you
traffic
say?
police,
Can you say
There's a slight
stop?
delay or what?
Inside.
There's
Yeah.
there's a few more.
Oh, okay. Stop.
Here, you want to take any of the last few?
Don't need.
No, sure.
Yeah, too many cards. I don't
Okay.
like.
Okay. All right. So we have another
cards you
bunch
don't
here.
like.
Now again,
There's no way
if
you can get my card.
if Shawn didn't pick one of those that was FD's card, then
Then
we
It
are
will still
going
be
to-
Angel's fault, huh?
Hey.
So we have a few more here to go through.
nice.
Okay. Finally, we've got Glenn.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, so Glenn, all you have to do now is all you have to do is, if you think the card is FD's card, just say yes,
Okay.
Or no. Okay.
right.
So this first one here, do you
Yes.
think this is FD's card?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, then we are right there. FD,
Yes.
for the first time, what was your card?
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of
Isn't
Hearts.
that a
Let's
great
have
card?
look.
The supreme pick.
And you guys, that was just
Nice. Well
Damn.
done.
amazing.
Damn.
The Queen of Hearts.
You are amazing, Shawn.
Well done, Shawn. Well done. That
There
was a great one.
No.
That was awesome.
Thanks, guys, but I didn't do anything. It was
Yeah,
literally
it was
you
me.
guys.
I started it off. Yeah. So
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
it's my doing.
I believe that Shawn just made me look good.
Oh.
Because it was all going,
Downhill.
Yeah.
I was
And
looking
then-
at this going, there's no way my card is in
And
there.
then at the end, somehow he did it. He made all of us
The
look good.
supreme pick. Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, you could have Glenn. You could have gone on and even further. And
Exactly.
we wouldn't have known. We would never have known until we got to the
Whatever
end.
card you
Yeah.
would have picked, it would have
Who
been
was
the right
gonna
card.
pick the first card, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, normally
Nobody
you
would
won't.
have.
Normally you won't.
So it's like
Nicely done,
deliberately
Shawn.
went like first one, just just so that people will know it's real.
It's real. Yeah, you guys really
well
got this one.
Well done, Shawn. Well done.
Thank
If
you,
you want to
guys.
follow
Thank you.
Shawn on Instagram, it's Shawn VMe, stands for Shawn Ventriloquist, Magician, and Entertainer, just in case you
Yep.
forget.
How about that?
Awesome stuff,
Yep.
mate.
And
There should be an FC
Why?
at the end. Shawn V Me E F C.
What's that?
YEFC Football
critic.
Club. Oh, food critic.
Food critic, yeah.
That's way too long to remember.
yeah. And I don't criticize food. I just enjoy it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
okay.
All
Well
right.
done,
Thanks,
Shawn. Good stuff.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right. You guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy your long weekend as well.
Yes.
I will be enjoying it. I'll be going for my second jab on Sunday and taking Monday as a rest day.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Perfect.
All right. See you
Yep.
next week, Shawn.
Thank you so
See you
much.
guys next
Shawn.
week.
Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was Shawn. Amazing once
That
again.
was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
like
was really,
the
really good.
supreme
His,
pick.
his
I
card
can't-
tricks are great.
Yeah, I enjoy a segment every week.
Yeah, I can't figure out how he did that one. That
You're
one
not
is
supposed
crazy.
to, yeah.
Yeah. Don't figure it out.
Sometimes
Just
it's better
enjoy
not
it.
to know.
Yeah.
Just enjoy.
Otherwise,
Enjoy.
you look at it and you go, oh, but no, don't.
Yeah, it's the beauty of not knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, for us, it's like, how come, sometimes we feel more turned on than other times? Don't
Don't question it.
Yes, don't
Don't
question.
question it.
Don't dissect
Just
it.
enjoy the moment.
Yeah, too true.
Okay. On that note, Share the video.
Bye.
Bye.